Mikesy. Now, we all know Goofy's son from a Goofy movie, an extremely goofy movie, and Goof Troop. But there's a son of his that we know little to nothing about. A son that Goofy had well before Max came into the picture. And no, this son of his was not the first iteration of Max. This was an entirely different character seen in older Goofy Disney shorts. Now, his name is Goofy Jr. Now, this Goofy kid made his first appearance back in 1951 in the animated short called Fathers Are People. Now, at the time, Goofy went by the name George G Geef, likely due to him hiding a few secrets that we'll get to a little bit later in this video. But for now, let's explore the life and times of George G Geef and his newborn son, Goofy Jr. Being born in that particular short, Goofy Jr. would go on to star in 4 more Goofy shorts, with a stark contrast in personality in comparison to Maxie. Now, he was very temperamental, caused a lot of problems for Goofy, and wasn't afraid to fight his very own father at such a young age. Now, he was the epitome of a problem child. In fact, you might say he was inspired by Dennis the Menace. Now, he was also quite fearless, as seen in 1952's Father's Lion, where he took on a mountain lion armed with nothing but a little BB gun. As time progressed, Goofy Jr.'s roles in Goofy shorts started to diminish, with the kid's role becoming less and less meaningful and vital to the plot of the Goofy shorts. What was odd about Goofy Jr. was the fact that he didn't really have any visual traits of his father. It's likely he took after his mother, yes, but we have no clue what she looked like, as we never saw Goofy's wife's face in any of the shorts. Given the way Goofy Jr. looked, he was more than likely a ginger. But where the hell is his ears? He didn't have any ears. They were completely missing on that kid. Now, a few decades would pass since we'd see Goofy Jr. make an appearance again, and when he did return, it was more or less in a cameo appearance. He popped up in the Mickey Mouse Works cartoon entitled How to Be a Baseball Fan and an episode entitled Pit Crew. And in this particular episode, he appears to be much older, maybe around 11 or 12 years old. But does Goofy still claim him as his son? Probably not, because at this point in time, Maxie had been established in the Toon Disney universe as Goofy's son in Goof Troop and both Goofy movies in the early to mid-90s. Now, Mickey Mouse Works was an animated series from the late 90s to the early 2000s, so Goofy Jr. was long lost in the vaults of Disney archives. The question is, why did Goofy forget about his first begotten son? Well, the answer to that question might lie in the early episodes of Goof Troop, which saw Goofy and Maxie living in a trailer park and moving to Goofy's hometown in Spoonerville. Now, Goofy lived in a trailer and was a single father raising yet another son. The thing is, he had a family with Goofy Jr. and his wife back in the 50s, and now he's a single father with another son, and the mama's never been seen. Now, at this time, Goofy goes simply by Goofy, as opposed to what he went by back in the 1950s, which was George G Geef. This particular alias is now gone, and we're given absolutely no explanation as to why he no longer goes by George G Geef, and we don't see his previous wife or his son. Goofy Jr. at this time has been wiped off the face of the earth. So has George G Geef, with Goofy now living in a trailer park with his newfound son, Max. What happened to that beautiful home he owned in the suburbs in Disney back in the 1950s with his wife at the time and his son, Goofy Jr.? How did Goofy end up in a trailer park home? Where did Maxie come from? And where is Maxie's mom? These are all questions that we'll never see the answers to, but if we dig deep, we might be able to find them. I mean, I even wrote a song about this called Mama's Never Coming Home.
Mama's never coming, not today, no, not today. Sorry, Max. When I held you in my arms, I knew that we would never part, because I love you from the start and you would always have my heart. Imagine Maxie taking a backseat to a thought, talking about my baby mama. What she did, it hurt a lot, but I knew that you would always grow and soar among the clouds, while I left you home and all alone for Sora and the clouds. Don't have a cow, cause somehow you ended up just fine, dancing and prancing, making moves just like Powerline. But what I did could hurt a kid, and I'm sure it did. But how your mother leave a Goofy with a fucking kid? I had a gun once, contemplated, should I shoot it though? Leaving this earth and Maxie with that dog Pluto. Mama's never coming, she's away. Mama's never coming, she's astray. Mama's never coming, not today, no, not today. Sorry, Max.
Now, while that song was indeed a banger, it didn't explain what happened to Maxie's mom. And it also didn't explain why he left his other family. Goofy had a son, but he decided to leave. Something must have happened for Goofy to no longer be raising his former son, but instead of going down the Goofy rabbit hole, the answer might be as simple as, Disney realizing that if they want to establish Goofy as a modern-day father, well, they have to design his son to look more like him. That was the design flaw of Goofy Jr. He looked absolutely nothing like Goofy, save for, a few minor characteristics. Although it would have maintained the continuity established in the 1950s Goofy shorts, a lot of the audience in the 90s were kids that weren't even close to being alive in the 50s. But of course, Disney could have maintained Goofy Jr. and just revamped the character, making him look a lot more like Goofy today. He could have kept his ginger characteristics, maybe he just grew some ears. But instead, Goofy Jr. was just turned into a character that was just recycled and used as background fodder. So Goofy Jr., aside from a few cameo appearances, was lost to time. And Disney chose this as the proper time to reboot the idea of Goofy being a father by introducing a son that looks a lot more like him, has similar characteristics and features. Now, it makes sense, honestly, but it's just sad to see Goofy Jr. Thanos snapped out of existence. But that is the story of Goofy Jr., Goofy's long-lost Goofy son. But would love to know your theories on that Goofy little kid. And like up this video to let me know you all are interested in this type of topic. I love talking about this stuff. I really want to explore more about what happened to Goofy's wife. I've done some digging and I think I may have the answers as to where she is. It actually was right in front of our Goofy noses, believe it or not. Anyway, I'll see y'all in the next cartoon mystery I decide to solve. Until then, take care.